So, um, how often do you find yourself scrolling through social media? Maybe checking for news or like entertainment or even maybe learning stuff.
Oh, constantly. It's almost automatic, isn't it?
Yeah. And you see those quick sort of digestible videos that just pop up, grab your attention for a second?
Mm-hmm.
They're everywhere.
Well, today we're actually taking a deep dive into something pretty fascinating, I think. A really modern phenomenon.
Okay.
It's the rise of teachers as social media influencers, especially on places like Instagram.
Ah, yes. The edgel influencers.
Exactly. And our mission today is really to unpack how they build their digital brands.
Right.
And maybe look at the messages they're sending, perhaps unintentionally sometimes, about language.
And what it all means, yeah, for teachers, for learners in this whole digital age.
Precisely. So where are we getting our info for this?
Well, we're digging into a really insightful recent study. It's by Ali Fuad Selvi, 2025, published in Applied Linguistics.
And it specifically zeroes in on English language teaching influencers, ELT influencers on Instagram.
Ah, ELP. Okay.
Yeah, the ones who cater to Turkish-speaking audiences. And honestly, it's a bit of a gold mine.
A gold mine. How so?
It just uncovers all these surprising connections, between language and economics and social media. It really makes you think about your own scrolling habits.
Sounds captivating. So, okay, what can people expect from this deep dive then?
Well, we'll definitely explore this idea of the platformization of education. That's a key term.
Platformization. Got it.
We'll look really closely at how these teachers, these influencers, present themselves online, their branding.
Okay, the image they project.
Yeah, and the actual content they create, what's in those videos, what messages are embedded.
And then zoom out a bit. Look at the bigger picture.
Exactly. The broader implications of this whole trend for everyone involved in learning and teaching today.
Okay, sounds like a plan. Let's unpack this. So maybe we should start with the basics. Social media platforms. What are they at their core?
Right. Well, fundamentally, they're, internet-based networks, places for user-generated content, interaction, stuff we all use every day.
Pretty much. And they've just profoundly changed communication, self-expression, connectivity.
For better and for worse, I suppose.
Definitely. Huge opportunities, right? Overcoming geography, connecting people.
It also challenges. Misinformation is a big one.
Huge. And other issues, too. But what's really interesting from a research perspective is this shift.
That shift.
Yeah, from seeing social media primarily as like a community space towards seeing it as fostering a more individualistic focus.
Ah, okay. And that's where influencers come in.
Exactly. That shift is a big reason why social media influencers, SMIs, have become such dominant figures online.
And this connects to that term you mentioned, platformization. It does, yeah. Platformization is basically how these massive digital platforms, think Google, Meta, Instagram, how their economic power and their technical infrastructure extend into almost, all parts of life now.
Not just shopping or chatting.
Nope. Education, health, politics, it's everywhere. And this landscape really amplifies the role of influencers within what some call platform capitalism.
Platform capitalism. So the economy is increasingly shaped by these platforms.
That's the idea. And edu-influencers are right in the middle of it.
So defining the edu-influencer.
Yeah.
They're more than just teachers posting homework reminders, right?
Oh, much more. These are educators who are specifically creating often recreational or bite-sized content. Think short videos, engaging visuals.
Designed to get followers.
Absolutely. Building large follower bases is key. It's multimodal content using video, text, images, sound.
And they have different names, too, I think you mentioned.
Yeah, you hear terms like micro-celebrity teachers, education influencers, or even teacherpreneurs.
Teacherpreneurs, okay, that captures the business angle.
It really does, because they operate squarely within the attention economy.
Or attention itself is valuable.
Exactly. Public attention can be converted directly into financial gain through ads, sponsorships, selling courses.
And this is leading to changes in the profession itself.
Big changes. The study talks about the privatization, monetization, and commercialization of English language teaching.
Wow. So it's becoming more of a business?
In many ways, yes. It's all part of this bigger platformized ELT ecosystem. These web-based spaces often run for profit that are either adding to or sometimes even replacing traditional classrooms. Social media is a huge part of that ecosystem.
Okay, this is complex. The study uses a framework to analyze this, right? 3 axes.
Yes, exactly. It helps break it down. First, there's the linguistic axis.
Linguistic?
Yeah.
So language itself.
Yeah. How the teacher's professional identity, how they present themselves, intersects with ideas about language, like native speakerism.
Ah, the idea that only native speakers are like the real deal.
Precisely. That ideology is often reinforced, as we'll see.
Okay, what's the second axis?
The social axis. This is all about how they engage with that attention economy we mentioned.
Getting noticed.
Right. And what the study calls visibility labor. The actual work involved in constantly creating content, engaging with followers, building that micro-celebrity brand.
It sounds exhausting. It's not just teaching anymore.
Not at all. And the third axis ties it all together. The economic axis.
Money.
Yep. How these influencer activities are monetized. The study sees this as a clear sign of neoliberal ideologies taking root in education.
Neoliberal.
Yeah.
Emphasizing free markets, individual effort.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And it connects to the broader gig economy where work is more project-based, less stable.
So, teachers becoming freelancers,
Mhm.
essentially competing for attention online.
That's a big part of it. So you see, it's how the language they promote, their need for social visibility,
Right.
and their economic model all interact. It's fundamentally changing what it means to be an ELT teacher.
That's a really powerful framework. The linguistic, social, and economic pressures all combined.
Exactly. And Instagram is like the perfect petri dish for this.
Because it's so visual.
That, and it's huge. 4th largest social network globally, right? 2 billion users monthly.
Wow. And in Turkey, where the study focused.
Nearly 60 million users.
Yeah.
A massive potential audience for these ELT influencers.
And things like reels, stories,
Yeah.
they make it easy to become Insta-famous.
They certainly help. It's built for creating and consuming that kind of short, engaging content and for commercializing your persona.
So how do they actually build that persona? Let's get into the profile details. The handles, for example.
Right, the handle your digital name tag. It's the first impression. The study found many explicitly brand themselves as English specialists.
Like names with English in them.
Exactly. You see at English Bengu, at Teacher Daphne, or even at English Koku Belgian, which means English Coach Belgian.
Yeah.
Very direct.
Or just at Learn with Saray. Simple.
Yep. Some use more academic-sounding names, too, like at overseas.scholar or at Dilchin and Kosisi, the linguist's corner.
That sounds quite clever. It's signaling expertise.
It is. And the common format, English with X, like at English with Dalila, that really personalizes it, tries to build a bit of community.
Makes it feel more direct, like you're learning with them.
But it goes deeper. Some handles tap right into what learners want. They promise fluency, like at english.fluency.master.
Oh, playing on aspirations.
Or at Learn with New Yorker. And some, really crucially, leverage that idea of native speaker prestige.
Like the example at Americana Gret Menem, my American teacher.
Exactly that. The study calls this linguistic entrepreneurship.
Turning language into a product.
Pretty much. Commodifying English proficiency. Selling an ideal of speaking, not just the skill itself.
Okay, so handles are strategic. What about profile pictures, the visual hook?
Almost always they use personal photos, and they're usually very aesthetically pleasing.
Like professional shots.
Often look like it. Usually frontal, eye level, direct gaze, big smile.
So not just a random selfie. This is planned.
Oh, absolutely. It's intentional impression management, designed to make them seem authentic, accessible, relatable.
Trustworthy. Credible.
All of that. Essential for building that follower base and getting people to, buy into what you're offering.
So this pressure, it really blurs the lines, doesn't it, between being a teacher and being like a brand manager.
Completely. The study argues educators feel pressure to be teachers, yes, but also visual identity developers, entertainers, marketers, all rolled into one.
Wow. Okay, what about the bio, the little description?
The digital resume and sales pitch. Interestingly, quite a few in the study, 29 out of 48, had that blue check mark, Instagram verification.
Which adds credibility, of course.
Definitely. And the bios themselves often highlight traditional credentials, English teacher, degrees, to TESOL certificates.
The standard stuff.
But they blend it with very entrepreneurial claims, things like taught 19,000 students, or 23 years of experience, or even 72% success rate.
Numbers that sound impressive, measurable results. Very businesslike.
Very. And they often link out to other platforms, personal websites, maybe online courses they sell.
And sometimes those, like, punchy motivational mottos.
Yeah, like the example, the 16-week super intensive English program makes you speak English with the pill emoji.
Huh. Subtle. But you mentioned something else significant. References to specific English types.
Yes, this is really key. Explicit references to inner circle varieties, especially American English, sometimes using US or UK flags.
And mentioning their location if it's in the US or UK.
Exactly. Using that as a selling point.
Which reinforces that native speaker ideal again.
Absolutely. It perpetuates this idea of unequal Englishes, where some are implicitly better or more desirable than others.
So the handle, the picture, the bio, they all work together.
They combine to create this very carefully constructed, multifaceted identity. It's not just about teaching English, it's about shaping the digital marketplace for it.
Accelerating that platformization you talked about.
Precisely. A real transformation of the profession driven by these platform dynamics.
Okay, that's the profile. Now let's dive into the content itself. Those reels, the short videos. How do they convey messages?
Reels are crucial for engagement, for visibility, and the influencers use really specific language strategies within them.
Like how they choose their words.
Exactly. The study calls it nomination and perspectivization. Think about pronouns.
Pronouns. Like I, you, we.
Uh-huh. When they use we or us, it's often to build rapport, create a sense of shared identity, or struggle with the audience.
Make themselves relatable?
Yeah, like we as people whose native language is Turkish, or talking about lyrics that we terribly misunderstood, it brings the audience in.
Okay, makes sense.
But then they often shift strategically to you and your.
How does that change things?
It positions the influencer as the expert, the one with the knowledge, addressing the learner directly. Creates a bit more distance and asymmetrical power dynamic.
Like, what is your motivation? Or, here's what you need to do.
Exactly. And then there's the use of them and they.
Who is them?
Usually it refers to idealized native speakers, typically Anglo-American ones. This sets up an in-group, out-group thing.
So us learners versus them native speakers.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Positioning the native speaker as this perhaps unattainable ideal, remember that quote, I offer an opportunity to speak like them without going abroad.
Right. It creates desire, but maybe also reinforces a sense of lack in the learner.
That's a key point, which leads to another strategy the study identifies, a deficit orientation.
Deficit orientation, meaning focusing on what learners can't do.
Often, yes, portraying the audience as perpetually struggling or needy.
You mean like, do you have difficulty memorizing words? I think you do, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Or even more bluntly, who can never learn English? Lots of question marks and emojis.
Okay, that feels a bit negative.
It can be. And then, crucially, the influencer positions themselves as the sole authority, the solution, often with these quick fix tips, or importantly, their paid courses.
So identify a problem or create one, then sell the solution. Classic marketing.
Very much so. Quite strategic.
And they use other tactics to grab attention, right? Like clickbait.
Oh, yeah. Intensification strategies,
Thank you.
clickbait titles, definitely. Using numbers, quantification is common.
Like learn 10 words.
Or even, we speak more fluent English thanks to this one word. Very specific. Promises a big result from a small input.
And exaggeration. Sensationalism.
Hyperbolic claims like life-saving English phrases or promising an American accent in 10 seconds.
10 seconds. Right. It's all about stopping the scroll, getting that immediate engagement.
Even if the pedagogical value is, let's say, questionable.
Which brings us to their actual arguments or argumentation strategies and this idea of performative native speakerism.
Yes. This is where they actively construct ideas about what counts as correct or authentic English.
And it's usually based on.
Almost exclusively specific varieties, American or British English, and the mythical native speaker.
How do they do that in the videos?
Through direct references, maybe showing interviews or movie clips featuring native speakers, or institutional nods like mentioning the BBC or a big testing company like Kaplan.
Or just symbols, like flags.
Yeah, US or UK flags appearing in the background or as graphics. It all subtly reinforces the message.
The study had a specific example, didn't it? About the American accent.
It did, a really clear one, a reel titled, Speaking English Like an American in 20 Seconds.
Okay.
The caption read something like, for those who say that no matter how much we learn, we cannot speak like them. Again, that us versus them.
Right. And the tip itself.
The influencer tells viewers, try this to speak more natural English. When the letters T, T, and RR come together, pronounce them like this. T plus R equals CRTR, like the C sound in train.
Okay, a specific pronunciation point.
And then they show movie clips with American actors supposedly demonstrating this sound.
So what's the underlying message there?
It perfectly shows that us versus them narrative. Learners are framed as kind of perpetual failures, struggling to sound like them. American English is the ultimate goal.
And the influencer holds the key.
Exactly. They act as a gatekeeper of proper English, performing native speaker norms, performative native speakerism. It strongly reinforces those linguistic hierarchies we talked about. Certain Englishes are just presented as better.
It's quite subtle but powerful when you break it down like that.
Very powerful.
So thinking about the broader implications, this whole trend, it's not all bad, is it? There must be some opportunities.
Oh, for sure. The study acknowledges the dual nature. On the one hand, edu-influencers can genuinely boost motivation for learners.
Make learning feel more fun, maybe.
So-
More accessible.
Absolutely, and they provide increased exposure to English in these new, non-traditional ways. They reach people where they already are on their phones.
That's a definite plus. But the challenges
Yes.
seem quite significant, too.
They are. One major concern is this link to a deprofessionalization crisis in teaching.
Meaning the job itself is becoming less stable, less respected.
In some ways, yes. Teachers are becoming part of the precariat, that class of workers facing unstable, insecure employment.
Competing for gigs online, like freelancers.
Kind of. Driven by algorithms, needing constant visibility, often with really unstable income. It's a tough reality for many educators trying to make this work.
And what about the quality of the education itself if it's all bite-sized?
That's the other big challenge. The focus on entertainment, catchy music, humor, fast editing can overshadow deep pedagogical impact.
How much can you really teach in a 30-second reel?
Exactly. There's a real risk of oversimplifying complex linguistic ideas or misrepresenting them. And, as we've seen, propagating specific ideologies about language, like native speakerism.
So it becomes harder for learners to know who to trust, who's actually offering good advice.
Much harder. Critical evaluation is tricky. We really need better ways, maybe frameworks, to help learners assess the accuracy and the hidden messages in this content.
Which raises a really important question for everyone listening, right? How do you navigate this? How do you get quality learning, not just entertainment?
While also maybe trying to support educators who are doing this ethically.
Yeah, it's a tough balance.
It really is.
So just to recap then, we've seen how platforms like Instagram are really transforming teachers into these entrepreneurial brands.
Yeah, strategically crafting their online selves, their identity, their content, often playing on learner aspirations.
And frequently, maybe unknowingly sometimes, reinforcing these specific ideas about language, especially native speakerism.
It's that complex mix, isn't it? The linguistic, the social need for visibility, and the economic pressures all working together.
Truly is. And,
Yeah.
it makes you think, this isn't just about language teaching, is it?
Probably not, no. This influencerization, this gig economy model. You have to wonder what other traditional professions are going through similar online transformations.
Doctors, lawyers, scientists, financial advisors.
Could be any field where expertise is shared online. And what does that mean long term for, actual expertise, for professionalism, for income stability?
Yeah, big questions.
Yeah.
And maybe a final thought for our listeners. As you're scrolling, whatever you're looking for, how can you apply some of this thinking?
How can you critically assess the expert content you consume, whether it's about learning English or, fixing your sink?
It's a crucial skill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Especially now in this very, very platformized world we live in.
Absolutely crucial.